It's your boy, and we're back with another Master Duel video. Today I've got a little bit different of a video for you guys. I've got a bit more of a discussion video. Today I'd like to share my thoughts on the format as it stands since the new Malice cards came out, since the new pack Struggle in Wonderland was released, and what I expect to see in the format in the coming months. I don't really have a script for this. I've just got some basic ideas that I kind of want to cover. So this is all going to be 100% off the head, so excuse me if some of my ideas may be a little bit slower coming out, or maybe something contradicts itself. Who knows? But ever since Malice has come out, the format has actually changed dramatically. But let's talk about Malice as a deck in itself. What I think about Malice. Malice is definitely extremely strong. I would say more than likely the best deck in the format. More than likely. The only reason that I'm saying more than likely is that even though Malice is exceptionally powerful in the same way that Snake Eye is exceptionally powerful, and the fact that it can just spit out bodies like it's nothing. Unlike Snake Eye, Malice has Artifact Lancia, basically, and Chaos Hunter, but mainly Lancia to worry about. Snake Eye, during the Snake Eye format, and, you know, it's still around, but really, it was just pushing through hand traps. Honestly, like, everything. No, there was no hand trap except for the obvious Maxi Fulos that was stopping Snake Eye, really. If they had the extenders, they were playing through them. Just straight up. And unlike Snake Eye, Malice does have Artifact Lancia, and Artifact Lancia really just completely ends Malice's turn immediately. It is a direct counter to the deck. Now, this has had a heavy impact on the format. In Master Duel, we're in this unique position where its releases are significantly slower than the physical card game in both the OCG and the TCG, and that's a good and bad thing. Why it's a good thing is that for us players that aren't looking to either spend very much money or no money at all on the game, we can research upcoming formats, upcoming archetypes, upcoming cards just getting ready to be implemented into the game. And we can pretty much already determine whether or not we want to invest in those cards. Where it's a bad thing, though, a lot of these new decks are already basically going to be solved. Now, fortunately, Master Duel has its own ban list. We have cards that are unrestricted, unlike the physical formats. in this case, we got both waves of support in the initial wave, in the initial release in Master Duel. So it's, and this is just what I've heard. I don't play the physical card game. Malice has never been so strong. You would think that that would be a real problem in Master Duel, and I would actually argue that it is. But it's not a problem like tier limit format problem, I would say. And so what happened in tier limit format? Well, I would say tier limit format, even in Master Duel, when the cards came out restricted as they were, as soon as the Ishizu cards got implemented, that was a real tier 0 format. Would I consider this a tier 0 format? No. No, I would consider Malice to be the only tier 1 deck right now, but would I consider it a tier 0 deck? No. I believe that there are two decks that I have had the fortune or misfortune of getting to experience their formats are Zodiacs at their height and Tearlaments. Both decks basically meant they were tier 0 status because if you were not playing the archetype, you were losing. Straight up, you had the inferior deck. That's how it was. I remember seeing, and don't quote me on these exact numbers, it's been some years, but I believe around in 2017, when Zodiac was tier 0, it represented 14 out of the top 16 of a YCS, which is a pretty big event if you're not familiar with physical card game tournament terms. YCSs, I believe, are comparable to regionals. Could be wrong about that, don't quote me again. I don't play the physical card game, but YCSs are pretty dang big events. Very important. When one archetype is represented at such a capacity, when players feel like there is no other option other than that option, that's when I would say that it's a tier 0 format. Same thing with Tearlaments. Tearlaments was 100% tier 0. There was just nothing that was playing to that degree. I mean, playing turn 0. To this day, there's no deck that's playing at the level of Tearlament's height. Snake Eye's not doing it. Even Snake Eye at its most powerful, I would not even compare it to the same level as Tearlaments at its most powerful with the Ishizu cards. It was that ridiculous. There was just no, you're playing against Tearlaments, good luck. You better be playing some Tearlament hate. And that's rough. That's really rough. Now, if you're someone who enjoys Tearlaments, and you enjoy mirror matches, and my lord, those games were insane. I have never played Yu-Gi-Oh! At such a insane power level. It was ridiculous. Very few times have I really genuinely not felt like actually playing the game. To be honest about it. It was It was that bad. Was it cool? It was definitely cool. But, you know, you can only handle so much of one deck. Why isn't Malice? Why wouldn't I consider Malice a tier 0 strategy? At the end of the day, I do not see this deck lasting at the capacity that it's going at right now. Right now, it's about, like, I would say, last I was playing, granted it was near release, it was maybe like 75% of the games I was playing. That's a pretty big representation. But here's the thing. And this is where I'm going to get into my, a little bit of my thoughts on how the format's going to shape up. The deck's new. So, you know, and it's a tier 1 strategy. It's going to be overrepresented. It's new. People like new cards. On top of the fact that it's really powerful. A lot of people are going to be playing it just for like free wins and everything. It's a cool archetype too. I mean, Alice in Wonderland, let's be real about it. But that's going to die down. And truth be told, I think it's actually going to die down pretty quickly. I would not be surprised if already by next week or the week after that we see another shift in the format. What that shift is, I could only really give a slight guesstimation. I'll probably be wrong on that. But I am going to guess that it's going to shift again. And why am I saying that? Right now, with its power level, with its popularity, with how much people are hyping this archetype up, calling it the new tier 0 deck, it's really pushing players to play the deck. And it's also causing people in the community to overreact at the same time. My God, these new Malice cards are coming out. We need to deal with it. What can I do to not have to play against this absurd deck is basically how people are looking at it, right? And again, unlike Snake Eye, Malice has Lancia. Malice has Chaos Hunter. And these two cards legitimately shut down Malice entirely. So, and this has really created a different style. Like, this is what I meant by the format has shifted immensely. We've gone from positioning your interruptions and using them well, and hopefully getting as much mileage out of those hand traps as possible, especially when playing against a deck like Snake Eye, where it's just going and going and going and everything's just a one card starter. Malice, the Malice format, with Lancia having and Chaos Hunter having such insane effects on the deck, and you know, that's not including the two classics like we said before, Maxi and Fulo. So let's consider probably a casual player that genuinely does not like either playing against this deck, or they don't want to play against this deck, whatever. You're probably looking at someone that's running, of course, the 2 Max C, 3 Fulos, then 3 Lancia, 3 Chaos Hunter. Brothers, that is 11 hand traps that just completely turn end Malice. So the new Malice format has essentially created a ton of these just non-games where you're really not even playing against playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And, you know, not on top of the fact that there are these turn-ending hand traps that you can play against Malice. When Malice looks to resolve a combo, that game typically just ends right there anyway. That person will typically just scoop and not even, you don't even see the full Malice combo in a game, typically on average, because people just, oh, I didn't open one of these hand traps, alright, GG, and they move on. And is that understandable? Yes. Yes, it is. The Malice inboard is pretty dang disgusting. It is pretty dang disgusting. I mean, making an Appaloosa on the way to actually making your board, the field spell protecting your Appaloosa on top of a card like Terahertz being easily accessible in the deck, and how powerful that card is. The fact that you can just on command banish out of your opponent's graveyard and multiple times, that is so good. The almost guaranteed follow-up, the immense amount of interruptions, how layered it is. It's disgusting. I'm not gonna lie, it's disgusting. It's not unbeatable, but man, is it one heck of a field to beat. One heck of a field to beat. So I don't really blame people for quitting on those games. They see the normal summon or whatever. They see the first piece of the full combo and they're like, alright, I don't have anything, you got it. At the same time, the deck is brand new. The deck is also very complicated. Honestly, it has a very high skill ceiling. Don't let anyone tell you differently. I'm not like the best at the game. Alright, I will tell you this time and time again. I am not the best at this game. It's my favorite game, but your boy ain't out here trying to be the new king of games. Just doesn't matter to me. I love the game for the game. I just like playing the game. I like playing multiple different power levels of cards. I mean, we was out there trying to make materia actors work, and we was putting goblins in there, all right, just for the fun factor. And now we're out here with Malice. I mean, look at it. We play whatever we want to play. Doesn't matter. Whatever looks cool, whatever sounds fun, we're playing it. If we can afford it. If we have the resources, we will do it. Kind of somewhat forget where I was at, but The deck is extremely powerful, and people don't really know how to play against it yet. It is so early in its release, and this also plays a factor in why people are just scooping immediately or surrendering immediately. So it either goes one of two ways. They have the turn ender hand trap, they drop it, okay, they pass turn, you play your game, maybe they don't have enough hand traps to stop you, you OTK them, win the game. If you don't have that hand trap, they have the full combo, scoop it up, pass turn. Just these very non-games. And even in the mirror matches, where you think the highest level of skill is going to be, right? Both decks can do the same thing. Both decks are crazy. See who's better at the deck, right? But that's not the case, because both of you are running these turn-ending hand traps. And it's like this mini game of, do you got it? Yes. Okay, pass turn. Here's my turn-ending hand trap. Okay, you pass turn. Okay, my turn. Next normal summon. Does it resolve? Oh, okay. Chaos Hunter. Okay. And then I will special summon my Chaos Hunter. And it's just this like, okay, we both keep throwing our turn-ending hand traps at each other. You ran out? Okay, I get mine finally resolves first. It's who's ever combo resolves first wins that game, basically. Wild. Like, it's never been anything like that. Like, during the tier limit format, when you were playing the mirror match, bro, it was on another level. It was on another level. You go first. You just normal summon Rhino Heart. They chain Havness, mill 3. They hit one of the names. They start fusion summoning off. You haven't, and then you send yours off Rhino Heart. You get your fusion. You're both just fusion summoning both off of each other. It's crazy. It's wild. Oh, and by God, do you hit one of the millers? One of the Ishizu cards. Oh, both players mill 5. Wonderful. Chain. Oh, you got chain. And it's chain link 8. Oh, by the way, you caused me to hit one of my Ishizu millers. So both players mill 5. Oh, I hit my other one. Both players mill 5. And it's just like this. And all that really got played was normal summon Rhino Heart. And this chain of events just happened. It was disgusting. To go from, like, it just two different worlds. Two opposite ends of the spectrum on mirror matches. So that's essentially the state of it at this moment. This is the experience of the format at this moment. But let's go ahead and move on over to Duel Links meta and look at the tier list and see what we think about this here. So at tier 1, we have Malice. Tier 2, we have Crystron and Blue Eyes And then tier 3 are your typical decks that have been around and powerful for a minute now. You got your Snake Eye, your Branded, your Tempai, or whatever. These top 3 here are the things to be looking at right now and to be talking about. Malice is at such... What the number we need to be looking at here is this power. This power number right here. 23.5, 9, and 7. Tier 1 is if a deck is over 12 power. Tier 2 is a deck that's is between 7 and 12. You gotta keep in mind as well, this is also based on just how often that it's being played. Like, mainly this is just how often the deck is being played. It also takes into consideration how much that deck is topping tournaments, at what places it's topping tournaments, whatever. But a lot of this data is also from just how much it's being played right now. And obviously, Malice, brand new deck, its power is up there, 23.5. The next highest is 9, over double. Yeah, the deck is pushing numbers. It seems like, and like I said before, last time I was playing, like 75% of the games I was playing was Malice. It's crazy. It's crazy how popular this deck is. And I think, again, it's an overreaction of the community. So many people are picking it up because they're like, holy crap, I have to, new tier 0 format, I have to play Malice, it's the best deck. If I'm not playing Malice, I'm getting beaten by Malice, have to pick it up. And then you have the other people that are overreacting with the hand traps like Chaos Hunter and Lancia. Crystron. Now it's interesting to see that its power is higher than Blue Eyes. Now, I'll be frank about it. Not very familiar with Crystron. Played against it like 2, maybe 3 times. But from what I have heard, what I know is that Lancia and Chaos Hunter also really, really hurt Crystron as well. So it's interesting to see Crystron still outperforming Blue Eyes when Blue Eyes, as far as I can tell, I mean, like, the only thing that they're going to be banishing is their Wishes with Eyes of Blue to get their Neo Ultimate Dragon into the graveyard. And that's really not even a necessity. And I still consider Blue Eyes a really powerful deck. I think, in general, the representation here, right, the stats are properly representing Crystron in the fact that it honestly probably was up there with Snake Eye Fiendsmith, if not maybe even higher, because of all the hits that Snake Eye Fiendsmith has been getting, until this last one that has pretty much cemented it into tier 3. Crystron was really starting to see its game get upped, and that was very interesting to see. I heard that in the WCQ event that we had not too long ago, Crystron was dominating. Just dominating. And that's really interesting, but even though very, very few players were on Crystron, it was kind of like that sleeper deck that just kind of popped up and just started wrecking house. And Blue Eyes is still exceptionally powerful. The only thing that has happened to the deck is that Sage and Maiden have been semi-limited. That is almost nothing. Almost nothing. It still makes crazy boards. It still has the versatility of leaning on either the Blue Eyes cards or the Primite cards. Extremely powerful. A very good option in the format. But this is where we are with the format. These three decks are the top current threats, at least for now. Honestly, I think that, and I might have said this in a previous video, but I think that a variant with Malice and Fiendsmith is what's really going to dominate here, because Fiendsmith doesn't need to care about Lancia or Chaos Hunter. I feel that Malice kind of needs an engine like Fiendsmith to be able to adapt at this point. There's such an overreaction. It's either that or we're going to have an adverse effect, right? We're going to have a reverse. It's so much Lancia and so much Chaos Hunter that people are just going to stop playing Malice. And then it's going to create this like cycle, right? Malice gets risen in popularity, so does Lancia and God dang it. I've been saying the card name Chaos Hunter this whole time, and then I forgot. Anyway, so Malice goes up in popularity, so do Lancia and Chaos Hunter. Chaos Hunter and Lancia go up in popularity, Malice goes down in popularity. So do the hand traps. The hand traps go down in popularity. Here comes Malice. And it might end up being this situation, at least at first, until the hype in totality with Malice dies down and you get the people that genuinely just like playing the deck and ultra competitive people being the only real players that are playing the deck, and then we finally get to see where Malice lies in the format. I don't think that we're going to see the type of representation with Malice that we've seen with Snake Eye. It's just too counterable, really. It's just too counterable. And people are just really afraid to play against it right now. So, in my personal opinion, as soon as Ryzeal comes out, that'll probably overtake the format. And that'll probably be the real tier 1 deck. Malice right behind it. And Honestly, Malice, Crystron, and Blue Eyes might just hang in the same area. Truthfully. They might just hang in the same area. But that's about it, honestly, on my thoughts. I think that, to kind of sum it up, Malice is extremely popular, very powerful right now. The community is having a bit of an overreaction and playing some crazy busted hand traps against, to play against the deck. It's making people have a reaction from playing it. And I, even talked to someone who, my boy Simon, who had some frustrations playing the deck. And I totally get it. Totally get it. I see that type of mindset about the deck. I mean, kind of everywhere online, truthfully. Is that we just have this very non-game type format right now. But I do think that that's going to probably change in the probably near future. Honestly. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not a prophet here. Should you take all of these and start preaching them like they're fact? No. No, not at all. I'm just some guy that really enjoys playing the game. And maybe every now and then I might actually be correct on something. But fret not, my friends. Malice isn't going to be like this until it gets banned or until Ryzeal comes out. We're going to see a very active format. A very experimental format, honestly, for the next couple of weeks for certain. And then I'm fairly positive in saying that we're going to see Malice start to die down. But that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Later.